Thanks so much for coming in today. I'm really happy to meet with you because I love having your daughter Allie in class. She is a pure delight. She's a prompt listener, always attentive and following directions quickly. Even if she is working on something and I ask for her attention, she will immediately turn her chair towards me and just look at me and wait for instructions to follow them promptly. She's also very helpful. She is a student who I can always count on to help her peers out, whether it's helping them find the right page of the book we're reading or putting up their chair at the end of the day for them. Allie is quick to observe those that need help and very quick to help them out and very kind and inclusive. I've been working with Allie a lot on literacy, and it's been a joy because Allie has blown me away with her passion for literacy as well as her competence. I administered a total of 12 assessments, and these are all focused on literacy. They highlight Allie's perception of reading, of herself as a reader and others, as well as her capabilities in reading and comprehension, in writing, and in spelling. These assessments allow me to see Allie's specific strengths in these areas, and they also bring to my attention the areas where I can provide additional support to help her progress even more. So I do this because the results from these assessments really show me where Allie is. This helps me better suggest text for her to read in her personal reading, as well as know which text to select as I'm working with Allie to help her progress and be moving forward rather than staying stagnant. Allie has many, many strengths. I was really blown away, and I'd love to share 3 of them with you. Phonemic awareness is one of Allie's strongest traits, and that's something that is an amazing blessing and gift that Allie has, because phonemic awareness is one of the strongest indicators for later success in reading. And so it's really important that first graders can establish this, and Allie already has it down. This is something that I would hate for her to lose, and so we're going to continue focusing on it. I think Allie's to the point where she can continue focusing on 2 additional things that we're going to implement in the classroom. This is sound isolation as well as sound addition and substitution. So Allie understands what phonemic awareness is. She is able to identify different sounds or phonemes within a word. I want to continue with her strength in this to help her build upon that, to be able to identify specific sounds at the beginning or the middle or the end of a word instead of just doing the entire word. I want her to really isolate those sounds. Another thing that I'm going to focus on Allie with is sound addition and substitution, which means that Allie will make words, whether they're nonsense words or real words, she'll be able to differentiate between those, but make words by adding or substituting specific phonemes for other phonemes. And this is just all wordplay that will really continue help developing Allie's phonemic awareness. Any support at home is also greatly appreciated. I know you have younger children at home. Allie talks frequently about her little sister. She likes to spend time with her. And I think something that will really help both of your daughters and any other children that are involved in this is to have Allie read Dr. Seuss books aloud to her younger siblings. Dr. Seuss was a master with wordplay, and this is all something that will contribute to Allie's phonemic awareness as she develops a better understanding of rhyme and can use it very frequently as she is reading to her siblings. Other things that really help with phonemic awareness are singing songs or chanting poems or telling riddles. Again, all of these are wordplay and something that's really beneficial for learners as they are developing phonemic awareness. So whether it's singing songs at bedtime or telling riddles in the car as you're driving places, if you could implement these things at home, Allie's phonemic awareness will continue to grow extraordinarily. Allie is also a remarkable reader, specifically with comprehension. She is really gifted with her ability to pick out big ideas and understand sequence details, notice similarities and differences in the text, and even tell specific details that happened within the text. And if you can see here, this is a series of 4 tests that I administered, actually just assessing her comprehension. And it shows me that Allie has a remarkable ability to know and to be able to retell this information. And this is something that I think she's ready to build more upon. So in class, I'm going to explicitly teach Allie different comprehension strategies, which help her better comprehend and take her comprehension deeper. And so these are different things that I'm going to focus on, but specifically I'd love for Allie to focus on connecting and drawing inferences. And so I'm going to have her take a sticky note, and as she is doing her independent reading, I want her to sticky note different pages where she's implementing these strategies and write which strategy it is and what she did. This will allow me to see which strategies I need to reteach and model to teach a little bit better, as well as where Allie is excelling. At home, things that you can do with Allie to help her continue growing in comprehension are, I know you read with her every day, she tells me, and that is amazing. I have a list of books that I can suggest that are just beyond Allie's level, that if you read with her would really promote and help her. But in addition to that, I really want to encourage you to take time as you're reading to do 2 things. To have Allie make predictions of what will happen in the text, as well as help her make connections from the book that you're reading to her own life, whether it's emotions that she's feeling or things happening in your family or even the community around her. That will just really promote her comprehension abilities. Allie also really is amazing with fluency. This is something, she's a strong, fluent reader. And again, I think that this is a great foundation that I think Allie is ready to be pushed in. And so I want to focus, again, on strategies, but specifically on word identification strategies within fluency. I'm going to teach these strategies explicitly to Allie and model how to do them both one-on-one with her and with her reading group, as well as in the whole group instruction. That's something I'm going to start doing. Even though not all students are to that point, they will begin to see, and Allie can see it in real context. Another thing I'm going to do, which I'm really excited about, is to introduce reader's theater. This is essentially when different students take on different roles in a text and can use the words, the text, but a bit more expressively. They can really focus on reading at a conversational pace. They can practice beforehand and add expression, voice, and their own character, which really helps with fluency. At home, all reading that Allie does is going to strengthen her fluency, and so keep encouraging her to read independently. I know she's an avid reader at home, and anything you can do to encourage that would be phenomenal. All of these books should be self-selected texts that she's reading at home. She should read a self-selected text apart from a self-selected text every single day, in addition to her assignments. Another thing is, while you're reading aloud, and you can focus on expression in your own voice, that you can use different characters, have different voices as you're reading, and you can even say that specifically to Allie as you're teaching and reading with her. I also loved working with Allie in her writing. Some areas that I think that Allie could really use some additional support from you and from me are in writer's voice. This is a tricky thing for first graders, but Allie is really to the point where she can start implementing this. So I'm going to start by explicitly teaching Allie about writer's voice, using examples from different texts in whole group instruction, as well as telling Allie that her pieces of writing should look different from mine or from her peers, because she has her own voice, and that's a good thing. Something that I also want to start doing is, I have noticed that I need to provide Allie with more opportunities to practice using her own writer's voice. If you take this example here, Allie wrote in her journal about whether she preferred soccer or basketball, and that was a prompt that I gave. And a lot of times the students will just kind of copy the format, the pattern that I've given them. I prefer basketball over soccer, period. But I saw in Allie's sample that she says, I prefer soccer over basketball because I like to use my feet. So Allie's already starting to implement her writer's voice in this and just needs more opportunities. So I'm going to be giving her more opportunities. I'd love to see her retell one of her favorite stories from a specific character's point of view to start practicing that voice. At home, it would be greatly beneficial if, as you're reading different books together, you could highlight those different elements that make up the author's voice. I have lots of suggestions, or if you send me a list of the books that you're reading, I'm happy to implement and show you what signs of voice there are in those books. But I know Allie loves the book Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day, which is a great use of repetition. And again, if you send me different books or if you have questions, I'm happy to help out with that as well. But also practicing writing is really going to help Allie. I think if she is encouraged to keep a personal journal, this is not an assignment, this is just something that she can express herself. Allie is articulate. She has a lot of thoughts. I've loved getting to hear those and getting to know her, to see those thoughts. And I would really love to see her be able to now voice those in writing. And that'll really help more than anything else probably to help her writer's voice develop and come in. She can start implementing that in all different settings. With spelling, Allie is a great speller, but long vowel words have been difficult for her. And so I'm going to go back and reteach long vowels. I want to explicitly teach the final E pattern, which is that if the vowel has an E at the end of the word, then that vowel is long, and we know that that vowel is long and it says its name. So when I'm reading with Allie, I'm going to pause at every long vowel word and have Allie show me the vowel and the E at the end so that she can start seeing those spelling words in reading context. I'm also going to provide Allie opportunities to use those in her writing. So along with providing her with prompts that allow her to use her voice, I'm going to encourage her to implement long vowel sounds and long vowel words in her writing so that she just has practice writing those words. At home, I think, again, practice with writing. She could write a letter to a grandma or a loved one that lives far away. And if you go over that letter with Allie and have her show you the long vowels and justify why she spelled it correctly, that would really help and provide that great support. Also, just sit down with Allie and have her teach you what she's learned about long vowels and the final E pattern. She can show you examples of it. There are 5 vowels that make the long sounds. They're A, E, I, O, and U. And if Allie gives you an example for each of those 5, that would be phenomenal. Allie is really wonderful to have in class. She's excelling in literacy. She's a remarkable student. She learns quickly. She implements directions quickly and promptly and has really impressed me. All of her skills in literacy can be developed further with these suggestions, like reading at home, independently, with a parent, and to her younger siblings. Allie's work in writing has been on par, but can continue developing as she has more opportunities to practice her writer's voice and solidifies her spelling of those long vowel sounds. If you have Allie keep a personal journal and you highlight voice as you're reading with her at home, and you let Allie teach you about long vowel sounds and maybe write a letter to a loved one, all of these are going to assist and support Allie in these areas. Again, I love having Allie in class. She really brightens the room. She's a buoy for all of her peers and for me as well. So I really appreciate her example to me and to all of the other students of respect and kindness and just patience and helpfulness. So she is a delight. Thank you again so much for meeting with me today.